Not really. Sometimes I feel like during a normal conversation, maybe at a bar or maybe at a club, people say some things that they shouldn't say the first time they meet someone. But overall, I think the culture is very similar. So I got a chance to intern in Mumbai as well as in the United States, and I can compare and tell you that the business world in India is very similar to the United States. Like it's very westernized. So I don't think there were any significant differences. Yeah, I mean this is perfect distance. Yeah, you
Good
know when you're
distance here.
talking, meeting someone for the first time, you want to make sure you're at least a handshake distance from them, so it looks
Okay.
like you're being professional and being respectful. You know, it would
Perfect.
be weird if I would just be super close to you. So,
Yeah. Great.
not really. I think with gender differences, especially, I think India and United States are on the same page. Both are emphasizing heavy on gender equality and etiquette as well.
One thing is when people ask me where I'm from, and I say I'm Serbian, and they ask me if that's Siberia, it's pretty obnoxious. And then they ask me about the US bombing of 99. Not looking people in the eye.
Okay.
No, it's generally the same, if not closer. Not to my knowledge.
Serbia's really Western.
Yeah, it's a Western country. Well, I mean, it's Eastern Europe, but like
Yeah.
most European countries.
So while I didn't face this while I was in college station, I felt a certain amount of discrimination towards me as a Pakistani male from some members of the airport staff, some members of general security, and oftentimes people don't realize that they're profiling someone, but they actually are. So that's something that I feel is offensive to me, and it has happened to many members of my family as well. I have a funny experience about like a cab driver who's quite rude to me. But that's pretty much really it. I don't see much issue on the very personal level. On a larger scale, there's the overbearing like political issues that exist that are often taken as business as usual. Many gestures, the general gestures that are even rude in the U.S. So you have something like the middle finger. That's something that exists here as well. It exists in Pakistan as well. It's not really much of a difference. Pakistanis are notoriously dirty with eating. So a lot of people don't use forks and knives much. We eat rice with our hands, we eat bread with our hands, we eat food with our hands generally. That's just how it is.
A lot of people from the States generally tend to be ignorant towards what's going on outside of the US. In the States, people tend to be a lot more direct. Here in the Arab world, people have a tendency of taking their time with their customer, actually taking the time to learn about the person and be interested in who they are before they go and take their money. So with females, I give them a little bit more distance. For guys, it's probably would not be any different than in the States. One thing I noticed is, say, for example, the tableside manner, for lack of a better term. People in the States tend to have a better one than here in the Arab world, just because they were brought up with, I guess, different values. And though it's something that I really appreciate would be brought into the Arab world, like chewing with your mouth closed. In regards to genders, in the States, everybody's trying to move towards equality, while the Arab world's still 50 years behind in that sense. I hope I've been able to answer some of your questions and give Mary an A.